Actually, one of the most common methods by which people become entrepreneurs is they work in industry for a lot of years. They develop that Rolodex, they notice some sort of inefficiency, or it's through something that they love, a passion of theirs through which they identify with it. So you've two sets of ideas here, the need-based entrepreneur and the opportunity-based entrepreneur. One of the things, Karen, that you talked about but right before I came on was the fact that there are abundant resources available for people. And then Melissa, you talked about sort of the family support, the fact that you had parents who were so willing to support you taking the leap, you and your sister. I was wondering if you could each talk about who you did seek for advice other than that, and where did you find the resources necessary to build, I think, the emotional support network that's needed, because I think it takes a bit of emotional and intestinal fortitude to launch a business. And where did you actually also find the practical resources, whether it was through organizations or individuals? What did you do to begin to aggregate everything you needed?
Right, I have to clarify and say that while it was a natural transition, there were still pieces that I still needed to make it work right. And so on the practical side, I mean, there has always been the SBA and all the SBA deliverables and the SBA programs and all of the seminars and all the pieces that they deliver. And I know the Orange County SBA is very large here in this area. And there are so many like that are doing a number of things. On the other side of it, in terms of the fortitude and the internal strength, you need the mentors, you need the people who have been through it, you need your own tribe, you need people who understand that it is hard at times and it can get harder before it gets better at times. So the mentors are critical, and finding the practical pieces through, those resources like SBA SCORE. And there are many, many out there. I mean, there's so much now online that you can participate in for almost little of nothing. So I would suggest both, looking into both sides to make sure you get that equal balance, because they're just rich and so much is available now.
Let me just amplify that before we move on to Melissa as the next person to answer the question. The two organizations that you mentioned were the SBA, the Small Business Administration. They have SBDCs, what are called Small Business Development Centers. They're all over the country, and they provide abundant free training for people. You can go in, you can get seminars on any sort of a topic. They also typically have counselors who work there, and their jobs are to meet with anybody who walks off the street to ask any questions they want to about business. I joke with my students that in my very first job as a faculty member, one of the things I had to do was work for 4 to 6 hours a week in an SBDC. And you start hearing the real questions that people ask. Things like, what legal form of organization should I use? And you start realizing, wow, I spent all this time thinking about strategy, and people actually care about not losing their livelihoods. Hey, that was the shock to me as sort of a 28-year-old who is just starting. So SBDCs are things to look at, and many of the people who counsel are experts. They're not just experts in helping you shape your ideas and put them forward. They're also experts in understanding the SBA guaranteed loan process. So should you decide to pursue debt funding, they can help you in that process. And the other one that was mentioned was SCORE, S-C-O-R-E, which is the Service Corps of Retired Entrepreneurs, or Retired Executives rather. Again, it's a site that has abundant free resources, including financial templates and the like, should you decide that you want to start projecting how much money you're going to make by year 1 or 2.
Can I just say, also on the SBA's website, there's a wealth of templates and other free stuff you can download. I mean, you can go to that site. There's so much there in addition to insights, industry insights, et cetera. So if you haven't looked at it, please do so, because it's great.
Melissa, do you want to talk about resources?
Sure. I think I'm learning a lot right now, which is really good too. So for us, my parents are a huge resource. My dad's a serial entrepreneur, and my mom's a small business owner that went from nothing to a business. So that was a huge part for us. One of the unexpected places that we found support was throughout our Kickstarter campaign, we had developed this community of supporters and backers from so many different walks of life. And some of those people had experience in different areas that were so willing to just help us and offer advice and mentorship, which was definitely an unexpected part of that campaign, which was really neat. And then in addition, as we started running our business, we had a community of parents of the students that we worked with. So these are just people that we started to network with, people we'd already known, and started to know more about what they knew to share that expertise with us, which was great.
I started my business, I launched everything completely online, and my support network was completely through the online platforms that I was using. I mean, Etsy has an incredible mentorship community, sort of. They have an entire staff that helps train. They send you emails, they have webinars. It has been incredible. It's been an incredible education for me. So in terms of like resources to help build my online store, that was a great community. I found an excellent supportive community on Instagram as well. That's been a huge source of support, both peers as well as an audience. And in terms of financially, we are building incrementally. I mean, we have obsessively priced our listings in a way that makes sure that we can have the money that we need for our cost of doing business, and we have the money that we need for our overhead, and be able to put a little bits aside to reinvest in the business and buy the things that we need. And it's not easy. It is. It does feel sometimes like we can be stretched thin, but this is a way that we can do it that feels like it's sustainable growth for us. But that's basically been our process of resources.